Well, good afternoon, everybody. I haven't did any kind of updates regarding my health, and so I thought I would do a little update to everybody since I did go on vacation to West Virginia, and a lot of people probably wondered how did she do as far as her weight gain and eating the more carnivore type diet that I do. Well, I wanted to let you know. I gained no weight. Matter of fact, I was down to 138 when I came back, which I was fluctuating between 138 and 140 all the time. So I'm down now to 138, and I'm staying there, which I'm kind of glad. I did do very well at home eating. A lot of stuff I ate I shouldn't have, but I'd eaten a lot of it because I know what it'll do to me, and I did have some breakouts on my eyes. My niece even noticed it today. I was there. She said, "You've ate something," and I said, "Yes. Sometimes sugar does that. High oxalate foods will do it. It just depends on what I eat." We had some coconut cookies that I ate that Dawn had bought from Country Club Bakery, and I had some raisin oatmeal, which I don't eat a lot of grains. And so, yes, I'm happy that I didn't gain weight because it's very hard when you go on trips to try to find some way to eat that you don't have to have include bread because almost everything sandwiches and breads. But what I did was I decided when we went out to eat, we go somewhere where I could say, I don't want the bread, I just want the meat. So I had no problems with people doing that. We went to Jimmy's Diner in Shinston, love their food. So if you're a fan of theirs, that's great. If you're not, that's okay too. But I do like their food. And I ordered these ribeye steak. His ribeye is called Jimmy's steak sandwich, but it's basically a ribeye steak, and it's done like sandwich meat type, grated or whatever, and you have it thinly sliced, I'd say. But I had it with peppers and cheese, and it was in an 8-inch plate and full. It was not like I had half of a little steak hoagie here. I had a plate full of steak with cheese and peppers, and Jimmy makes his own peppers, and they are delicious. So, if you're ever out that way and you want something where you don't have to worry so much about bread and doing a high carb dinner, they have lots that you can choose from. Just eliminate the bread's what I did. And I went to a couple other places. I did the same thing. But they had the best, and I got the most from their place. So we ate there like 3 nights in a row. Don wanted spaghetti one night, so he had his spaghetti. And I don't make it at home anymore. If he wants it, he has to make it because I just don't entice those kind of things for my husband to eat when he is he's controlling his diabetes, and that's how you do it, is what you eat. So I just kind of wanted to let you know that I didn't really, even the stuff I ate a little. I didn't eat a whole lot. So I even had a couple mornings we had McDonald's breakfast, and I don't care for biscuits and stuff like that, but I did have them a couple mornings because that's we was in a hurry to eat, and we just ate there. And but it didn't put the weight on me because I don't do it every day. I don't do it. I haven't had McDonald's in probably 2 years. I just never. I'm not a McDonald's person anymore. I got away from that kind of eating, and of course I don't eat the hash browns, so I just had the sandwich and that was it. So now Don did gain some weight, but he's got himself back down, and it was just, I think a lot of his was fluid because we stopped at a steakhouse on our way back home Sunday and ate, and he did the buffet, which he always likes the more breaded foods like fish and stuff like that he likes to eat. So that adds into your weight, let alone it doesn't help his diabetes, but he's still kept it around 140. So I'm not too unhappy with that. It's kind of there right now. It's going up 140, 130 some. It's better than it used to be. And that was that. Even on these pills, they never brought it down like it's supposed to. Matter of fact, he found that not taking the pills often helped him. So my battery just said it's getting low. But I want to tell you a couple things I found that inflammation in my back. And I had went out and got some Keebler Samoya cookies, which is really a bad thing for me because sugar is my downfall. And I did get some phenyl doTERRA essential oils, which to me taste like licorice, and I love that. So I will take it and put a tab on my tongue, which keeps me happy without wanting sugar. So there's a little hint. Anybody who wants that, phenyl will help you keep from wanting sugar. At least it does me. Anyway, instead of doing that, of course, I didn't have that when I ate my cookies. Well, I overate the cookies, and when I did, my sciatic nerve started working on my back, and I had inflammation in the lower part of my back. So I said to myself, I bet there's corn syrup in them cookies. Sure enough, I went back and looked at the ingredients at the store, and sure enough, there's corn syrup. Corn is my enemy when it comes to inflammation to my lower back and my sciatic nerve. Popcorn, regular corn, it don't matter. Corn itself, it's a grain, and apparently the grain is causing more inflammation to my body. If I catch myself eating a lot of bread or anything that has any kind of grains to it, my right thigh muscles start to burn and it inflames my muscles. I don't know about you all because you don't even know what's causing your inflammation unless you start eliminating and trying to figure things out for yourself. And our bodies develop these crystals from high oxalated foods, like a lot of vegetables have high oxalates, which causes the little crystals in our joints that forms into those. Okay, so those crystals is what hurts us and causes our inflammation. So you have potatoes, any kind of potato. You have nuts is very high in oxalates. They're good in fats, but they're very high in oxalates. So that's the problem. They cause inflammation. And I learned that really while doing my keto stuff because I got into the almond flour really big time. And I always had these breakouts around my eyes. Couldn't figure it out. Well, it's the oxalates. They cause like hives around my eyes. My niece noticed that when I was back home and she said, "You've ate something." I said, "Yeah, it could just be," well, I had these brownies that my sister-in-law gave us that had nuts in them. And of course, I would eat one or two a day while we were home, which I should not have done. But I did because it was a sugar. Instead of doing my fennel, I went to that. But like some people say, you're on vacation, enjoy yourself. So I did. So now I'm back on track. So it doesn't bother me that much that I went off a little bit. But every day, yes, I cannot do that every day. I would really be in lots of big trouble. So in saying this, I did really well. I stayed at my 138. Actually, I went down to stay at 138 because I was like 140 to 138 back and forth. At one time, I made it 137. So I might get there again. I don't know. But right now, that's where I'm at. So I just kind of wanted to let you know, if you're interested in trying to see what's causing your inflammation in your body, my suggestion is first, back off of all grains. Get away from them. No breads, no pastas, stuff that has flour in it. That's a grain. Oats is a grain. Back off of those things and see if that helps your body get less inflammation. Try it for a couple weeks. You don't have to go all the way if you don't want to, but just try it for a couple weeks. And then you could start like your nuts, beans. Sometimes some people say beans are really good for you. Beans are very inflammatory. They're very bad for carbohydrates, for your sugar. There are a lot of carbs. A fourth of a cup, I forget, is like 300 and some carbs. So there goes to show you beans are very high in carbs. Some people say they're very good for you. I hate to tell you, they're not. And I have friends who I love beans. I used to eat beans all the time, let alone what they did to my insides was not good, let alone the air around you. So all I can say is these are things that you can try and just see how you do with them. And, I just challenge people. Instead of taking pills for pain, watch your diet. Watch what you're eating. Watch what you're drinking. Sugar can do a lot of harm to us, a lot more than we think. And that's why I went with the fennel, so I want to start doing it again. And instead of anything else, that's, I have no sweets in my house right now, which is good. Other than popsicles, which I don't need to leave them alone. I had one of them last night, and I told myself you shouldn't have done that, which I shouldn't have. But I need to start doing my fennel essential oil and put it on the tip of my tongue, and that makes me not want sweets. So it is a good thing. And some people eat fennel seeds for that reason. I don't know if that's good for you, but I just do the oil, and it's really good. And I get mine from doTERRA. A lot of people get it from other places, but that's where I get mine from. And I know it's okay to ingest. But that's just what I wanted to tell you today. And it's a beautiful Thursday here. Sun's shining. My husband's out golfing. And I did something new today. I took a ribeye steak and I sliced it thin and put it in bacon grease and fried it, and it was pretty good. I thought, maybe that's how I need to do instead of eating so much bacon. Go with the ribeye steak because it tastes really good that way. So that's just a little hint if you ever want to do it. But we're going to have meatloaf with bacon wrap today that my niece had a recipe for. The only bad thing is it's asking for brown sugar, which I'm going to try to eliminate that because I'm trying to get away from the sugar, so I have to eliminate that or go with, Swerve or something with a little less potency of the sugar. That's all. But I haven't decided on that yet, what I'm going to do. But I'm going to make the meatloaf wrapped in the bacon and stuff. So that's going to be our supper tonight. And of course it calls for oats, which I will use pork rinds in place of the oats because that's what I do when I make meatloaf. And it's just as good. And it tastes just as good to me. And it's a filler, and that's all it is. So I'll be doing that with my pork rinds for my meatloaf instead of oats. So in saying all this, I just wanted to let you know that the carnivore diet for me is the way to go. It's helped me feel so much better. I don't have the aches and pains. Didn't have any pains driving home in my lower back whatsoever or driving back. It's just like I know what I can do and get by with. And that's what I did. So, I get out of the car, I'm not as stiff. I can walk, pretty much when I walk out the door, I'm walking. And I think Don noticed the same thing. He wasn't as stiff riding but he did overdo some things more than what I did. And so I think he felt a little different in that aspect, and he's noticed that. But it was nice. We stayed in a hotel room for the week, and just it was really relaxing, and came and went as we were pleased, and didn't have to worry about staying with somebody and using up their electric and water and stuff. And with COVID, it made it really hard because we didn't know who to see and who not to see. But my family and friends, basically, they were fine seeing us and they didn't have a problem with it. So it's just what people want to do. That's all. So I kind of let them make their own choice. If they wanted to see us, fine. If they didn't, that was okay too. And it doesn't make me mad at them because of the COVID thing. You can't get mad at people over it. It's their own thing. But just telling you, I didn't gain weight, so I'm so happy about that. And I can still get my clothes on. Same ones I were left in, I could still wear. It's not like going on a cruise when I could eat 24/7 and anything I wanted. And I gained weight, believe me. So anyway, with that said, you all have a great day, and God bless you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.